Are you familiar with The Chosen? It's a fantastic multi-season series created a few years ago depicting the life of Jesus and his disciples. And I have to say, it's one of my personal favorites. I've laughed and I've cried, and it's moved me and changed me in the deepest way. Well, season 3 is about to be released. And joining us today is actress Elizabeth Tabish, who plays the role of Mary Magdalene. Welcome to 700 Club Canada, Liz. So nice to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me. What a pleasure.
Oh, honestly, I shared this is like my favorite series. I've got my friends, I've got my tickets for the season 3 opener, but
Yay!
it's been so impactful. And Liz, thank you for the way in which you have depicted Mary Magdalene. I can't imagine what it's like to be an actress, but you've taken, The Chosen has developed these backstories to these characters in the Bible that often feel maybe one dimensional to us. And we
Yeah.
know, right? We know Mary was this demonized woman who was tormented. And you bring such depth and realness and understanding to her role. Why has The Chosen taken this approach, and how has that impacted you as an actress?
I mean, I don't know why. I'm so glad they have though. I think the sort of history of media that is based on the Bible has been a little one dimensional and a little removed and sort of Shakespearean and distant. And especially female characters are very rarely portrayed in this realistic way. And so I think it speaks to the times of how media is now, of more realistic depictions of humanity, of people. But also I think the writers did this beautiful job in making these real people, and they were real people, and creating these plausible backstories that lead up to these moments in the Gospels that we're familiar with. And for me, for them writing this female character that is so honest and so real and raw it's such a gift as an actress to be able to play.
Well, again, you truly bring Mary to life. You've made me cry almost more than any other character in the story. But
Sorry.
no, but it's so moving. And you share that you connected with her character. In what ways?
I was struggling with depression for a really long time. I was broke and I was drinking too much, and I was trying to quit acting because I had so many rejections. It seemed like there was all the signs were pointing to, like, you need to change your career path. You need to change everything in your life. And I just didn't know how. So I told my agent to stop submitting me, and he submitted me to this anyway, which is incredible. Um, and when I first read the script, for the audition, I broke down. I hadn't connected to a character like that in a long, long time. Um, it felt like it was written for me. It felt like here's this woman who's struggling and trying so hard, and she just can't do it on her own. And then this redemption for her, this second chance at life, and it moved me so deeply. And because of, I think, some of my pain and depression and fears and anxieties, I was able to connect with the Lilith portion of Mary that we meet in season 1, episode 1. And I wonder if I would have been able to play that, if I would have been able to portray that, had I not gone through some of those experiences. So it felt very uncanny and very specific to my experiences to be able to play her. So since then, of course, as she's redeemed and growing and maturing, I feel like now she gets to influence me, as I'm also growing with her.
Right. Well, I can tell you that scene with, as she's called Lilith in the story, when she meets Jesus. Oh my, it took my breath away. It caused me to weep because I saw so beautifully illustrated, no matter our brokenness, what Jesus does, right? And I'm so pleased for you to know that God has used this in your life. So tell me, how has your faith been challenged then in playing this role?
I was cynical and skeptical about religion for a very long time. I was raised Catholic and loved it as a child and loved stories of Jesus and then as I got older, I just became cynical about hypocrisy in churches and judgmental Christians and I never felt like I belonged. I always felt judged and so I just separated myself from it all. And so I was really without a religion for some time, but always wanting it, wanting this connection and community, and also always still loving Jesus and what he taught, what he is to people. And so it was just like a little bit of this disconnect. And then this show happens, and I am learning more about the Gospels. I'm learning more about my character. I'm learning more about what Jesus was actually teaching and not necessarily the interpretation of other people's version of him. It's actually like back to the Gospels, what he was actually saying and doing. And it's like, it's opened up my heart and like knocked down these blocks that I've had about Christianity, about what the meaning of it, the purpose of it. And it's really opened my eyes.
Well, you know what? I think you're speaking for so many. You're a storyteller, and God has continued to write your story. And I believe The Chosen is God is using it to break open people's hearts, to
Yes.
once again see Jesus and what his message is for real and without the hindrance of all the trappings of religion. Well, Liz, season 3 is coming. And so we're going to be right back with more from Liz Tabish. But here's a sneak peek of the upcoming season of The Chosen. Watch this.
I'm Judas.
Shalom, Judas.
There will come a time when this will become far more difficult. When persecution is an ever-present part of your ministry. Are you ready to do hard things?
Yes.
We will see. Follow me.
Do not be anxious about your life. Whatever you wish that others would do to you, do also to them. For this is the law and the prophets. You have heard that it was said, you shall love your neighbor and hate your enemy. But I say to you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you.
This prison is nothing now that he's here.
The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine upon you, be gracious to you. The Lord turn his face to you and give you peace.
I have chosen you 12 as my apostles. There will come a time you will follow in my footsteps